foe is more devious than we imagined. That spire was indeed a teleporter linked to a cloaked Covenant supercarrier, a grave threat. Thankfully, help is imminent. 60% of the UNSC fleet is en route to Reach from existing deployments. The first battle group should arrive within 48 hours.
48 hours? That's imminent? Uh-oh. Who's your money on this time?
Her.
You always pick her.
She's always had him dialed in.
That thing's crushing us and we're waiting for backup. They'll be backing up a graveyard.
All our nukes are either out system or went down with the ships that carried them. You're preaching to the converted.
How converted?
I know that look, Kat.
You can say no.
No.
You don't even want to hear it?
Fine, I'll hear it.
Remember that accident a couple years back? Colony ship en route to Cygnus, 700 dead.
Vaguely a slip space drive malfunction, right?
Actually, it worked fine. The drive was mounted improperly after a service haulout. When it fired, it teleported half the ship to oblivion.
And this is relevant. How?
A certain Covenant supercarrier could, with some assistance, suffer the same unfortunate accident.
Even for you, Kat, that's
Inspired?
not the word I would use.
What's going on?
Go ahead. Explain.
May I?
Don't cut yourself.
Objective: destroy Covenant carrier in geosynchronous orbit above us.
This sanctions, sir.
What do you think?
Oh.
Method: a slip space drive in lieu of the nukes we don't have. Delivery system: us. Getting us up there. That and getting our hands on a slip space drive. Thank you for sharing.
So, all we need is orbit-capable transport and the single most expensive piece of equipment made by man.
As a soldier in the field, I couldn't access to those kinds of resources. That said, a good place to look might be, I don't know, the nearest non-existent launch site in the non-existent Saber program dismissed by 3 administrations as preposterous rumor, and in which our newest member was certainly never a pilot.
You're scary. You know that.
All we need is a green light from Holland.
Good luck with that.
You're the one asking him.
Well, there's no way in hell he's gonna go for this.
Bit of a hike to the launch facility.
Any closer is too hot to land.
Copy that, Commander.
Move up the beach, Noble.
Alright, let's go. Your mic's muted, by the way. Oh, well,
Yeah, I know.
because cutscene, yeah. Alright. Did you catch most of that cutscene?
No, I was here for the cutscene.
Alright, cool.
Reinforcements inbound.
Music's about to get real good. It's like a continuation of the guitar one from the first mission. Uh-oh. Knife in the brain. Alright, you got him. More fucking needle rifle, guys.
Yeah, I need something to replace this assault rifle too. Either
There was more ammo.
Oh yeah, this is good. I like this one.
Yeah, the DMR.
The
It's-
I've been using the DMR a lot. I think I might like it. I don't know. I've been using it with. I've been using it with the needle rifle. Yeah, so far
I keep picking up every needle rifle. Don't think there's
But
been a
maybe
single
you're the
mission.
reason why I haven't been able to find one.
Yeah. I
Like
use
you
it
said,
in
it's like
every
the same
mission.
thing, but
Needle rifle is a little bit fully auto. Like you can hold down on the trigger and it'll keep shooting. And then also it has more bullets, but does less like individual damage. Do you not like the concussion rifle? It's really good.
well, I just wanted to try the shotgun. I haven't really got to try it out yet.
Alright, I'm keeping the sword. I don't know if it'll let me take it into space, but yeah. Alright, get ready to...
Yeah, we're gonna share one seat.
Struts disengaged. Commencing launch in T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2. First stage engine burn nominal. Stage separation in 3, 2, 1. Stage separation. Second stage ignition confirmed.
Alright.
Noble Actual to Saber Bravo
Oh,
029.
well.
Copy, Actual.
Yeah.
Colonel Holland?
Affirmative,
fine.
Double 5. Welcome to Operation Uppercut. I'll be your control from here on out.
Understood, Colonel.
Noble 6, these Sabers have been
There's a
customized
little
for
bit of
orbital
a
defense.
tutorial.
You may need to get reacquainted. Rendezvous at Anchor 9 with frigates on now.
Because the way the cutscenes are shot is really interesting. It's like there's like a cameraman and there's zooms in and stuff, right? And there was kind of like that in Halo 3, right? But it's way, way more in this one, and it's really interesting. It's like there's like an actual cameraman, and it's it's really interesting. Yeah, just make sure you do all of the things that the tutorial is telling you to do. Okay, and then I'm gonna fly over here.
Savannah Actual to Saber teams.
Oh, wait,
Be
no.
advised, we have bogies inbound.
Oh, I
Good
forgot.
Anchor 9,
Good try,
all
Aaron.
UNSC ships. Station defenses are down.
There's assholes
Requesting
coming.
combat support until we can bring them back online.
Here we go, 6. Show them what you can do.
Yeah. Alright, so with these Banshees, you're gonna want to use your machine guns. Circle, because it like auto kind of tells you where to lead your shots.
56%. Hang in there, Saber teams.
Should go down pretty quick. And also, get our heavy metal challenge done too for the week. That's pretty good. Boom. Yep.
Anchor 9
Alright,
UNSC
so
ships.
these
Impulse
are,
drive signatures detected.
you're gonna
Class.
pop their shields with their
Heads up,
guns and then use your missiles. Kind of like popping an elite's shield and then going for a
Use your
headshot.
guns to take down their shields, then hit them with your missiles.
Yep.
Defensive batteries
What he
at
just said.
79%. Buy us another minute, Saber teams.
Yep. So you switch to the missiles. Yep. Perfect.
Anchor
All right.
9er to all craft in the vicinity. Be advised we
I
show
guess
a
it
large
only
attack
counts
force
banshees
inbound.
for the heavy metal
Combat Air
thing
Patrol and Saber teams
because
are
it
directed
thinks
to
that they're
engage
normal
defend the
banshees.
station.
It thinks that
Is
they're
there any
like
place the Covenant
banshees in the like
Anchor
on the
9 to all
ground
UNSC ships,
from the
delayed.
station
Light
now,
'em
which
up.
is good. All right. That was good. There we go. Got a challenge completed. Nice. Oh jeez, they're shooting at me. How are you doing up here, Haas?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm
Anchor 9 to
just,
Saber
you know,
teams. Phantoms
just,
inbound on Vector 7.
I was gonna shout out too, but, you know, that's why we have the evasive maneuvers, I guess, right?
I barely even use them. Alright, these
Yeah, I
guys
didn't
are gonna
start
be a
using
little bit
them,
of
I
bullet
started getting
sponges.
shot at.
Anchor 9 to all UNSC fighters. Multiple inbound Phantoms.
You're just gonna want to
Yeah, they're-
spam missiles at them.
Saber
I had a
teams, mark the
feeling
five
that
highly
was
gunboat
the
targets
strategy here.
now.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, they do some pretty big damage. Also, I don't think they give you score.
I was thinking about this whenever that was a cutscene, like a little bit
Anchor
ago,
9
right?
to UNSC ships. All targets neutralized.
You're like,
how
oh, there's no
reasonable
way.
is it?
Clear to dock.
Now, how
Activating
reasonable is
marker.
it to have
Holland,
a
Bravo
ship
029er. Noble 5, you ready to
that's
go?
as big as that Covenant ship? It doesn't seem very reasonable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Alright, get ready to mute.
I'm out here, 6.
Warning, M-Spec reentry pack disengaged.
I need your override.
Warning, M-Spec reentry. Cockpit depressurization complete. Canopy release lever armed.
Max Sabadov Siba.
Noble 5, please repeat. Base, Sector 18G.
Thermal enhance.
Noble 5, your pulse is elevated. There is nothing you can do for Dr. Halsey and the others inside Sword Base. The mathematics are determinate. Noble 5?
I know.
Bravo, 29er, you're cleared to re-engage thrusters. Noble 6, this is Holland.
Go ahead, Colonel.
We've flagged a Corvette-class vessel on a predicted docking track with our target. Get our makeshift bomb on that Corvette, and we have our delivery system. Noble 5 will escort the bomb. I need your Saber team to clear the way for boarding.
Understood, Colonel.
As she's already donated her slip space drive to the cause, Savannah will be joining you to provide local fire support. UNSC Savannah. Our wings may be clipped, but we've got your back. I've stuck my neck out for Noble London.
We'll get it done, Colonel. 6 out.
Target corvette sighted within visual range of nav.
We have visual. Target confirmed.
Alright, let's do this.
Frigate Savannah in
Let's take
position.
out this
Saber
little
team, sound
patrol
off.
first.
Echo 1, all systems nominal.
Echo 2, good to go. Echo 3, systems green.
Echo 4, all systems online.
Solid copy. We are currently jamming the Corvette's comms. Hit it hard while it can't call for help.
Agreed. Saber teams, clear a path to that Corvette.
Uh-oh. Hang on. I'm gonna start taking out the engine so we don't have to do it later.
Might want to clip her engines, Colonel. See if we can slow her down.
Good thinking, Savannah. That'll make boarding her
All
a whole
right,
lot
well,
easier. Noble 6, I'm marking targets. Take out
I
the
was
Corvette's main
just
engines.
playing the ads, but
Yep. That's... yeah. You were supposed to do that too, it's fine. I just figured I'd get a head start on them.
Energy flares detected in the corvette's aft launch bays.
there's a lot of Banshees.
Heads up, Sabers.
Yeah.
Multiple impulse drive
Did you and I just
detected.
crash into each
More
other?
bogeys incoming.
I
had a
hate you
feeling
so
that would just
much.
happen.
I hate you so much.
There's no way we could have planned that. I hope you know that.
Yeah. Audience,
Heads up, Sabers. Multiple impulse drive signatures detected.
that was
More bogeys
kind of funny.
incoming.
Not gonna lie, that was
That-
kind of funny.
I think that was it was for the content, obviously. You know?
Oh, of
Must be
course.
squadrons coming back.
Yeah,
from patrol, like
totally an accident.
Don't let any of them get away, Sabers. Kill them before they bug out and warn that
No, what are the
superior
chances
we're
of that? You know?
Yep. I love that I've already damaged the engine. Usually you're supposed to take out the fighter escort before the engine even gets hit at all. Yep, so just take them all out. Yep. And come on. Get hit, you son of a bitch. Got him. Okay, we should be good now.
Dot, analyze all available data
Yep.
on that Corvette. Find a way inside.
Scans indicate a structural weakness surrounding a platform.
So, like,
top
up
of
at the
vessel.
top is where we're gonna go in.
Noble 6.
So just
Yeah,
get
I
ready to
just
mute.
saw it on
Be
the
on that
swing.
Corvette's
line.
topside landing pad.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Noble 6,
Yeah,
the
they let me
Savannah's
have my
countermeasures won't work
sword.
forever. Find a way inside and permanently disable that cruiser's communications. As soon as we're sure the Corvette can't squawk,
I
we'll
do
initiate
appreciate the
uppercut phase
like
2.
the low gravity, right? But I feel like there would be no gravity, right?
No, because this is still a ship, right? And so it still has gravity.
I know, I just feel like the gravity would be so negligible that if we jumped, we'd fly off
Copy
into
that.
space.
Halting countermeasures, diverting all power and personnel to weapons.
No, this still
Yeah.
has
Right, Noble.
it still has
Let's get that
mass.
slip space bomb on board.
All right,
I don't know.
here's the only.
You have to have a lot of mass, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is going to be a well, not really, because the moon's only.
This is much smaller than the
Colonel,
moon.
on our way to
Oh
the
yes, yeah. But the moon is not as big as everyone thinks it is.
Affirmative. On approach.
It's
No,
it's
it's
only
not too big.
a couple
It's
hundred
still, it's-
miles wide. Yeah. It is a lot bigger than this. Yes. Oh, by the way, engineer. They make a
Engineer.
return. Remember the one from ODST?
Oh,
The
yeah,
alien
yeah.
at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like even though the whole ODST thing didn't really work out, I feel like it's not really like a main series game, so it's not as
Yeah.
it's not as bad of a loss as if we would have lost like a main series one.
If
you
we
know?
had lost Halo 3, I would have made you re-record the entire thing.
Well, first of all, like these games are not that long, like all things considered, you know. I feel like I'm so used to playing like campaigns for single player games that are like
Gotta get you aboard, Colonel.
Copy that. 6. Get your fire team to the bridge. The Corvette's refueling run with the supercarrier will have to be initiated manually.
Yes, sir.
5, stay with the bomb and discourage the curious.
My pleasure. Hear that, Lieutenant? I'll be all by my lonesome back here. Make it quick, would ya?
Now,
Noble 6,
I
get
will
that
admit
Corvette
that there
moving
is
toward the
going to
supercarrier.
be
Head for the
just a
bridge.
tiny little
Find the
plot hole
navigable
here in a minute.
Why did the gravity all of a sudden just change?
Because it reset itself after the firefight in the hangar. Hello.
Okay, well, I guess, sure. Why not?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but pretty much what I was saying is I'm still used to playing games that have like 20 plus hour playthroughs that playing these Halo games, they just, they're real short, I do have to say, I do know that games back in the day used to be a lot shorter, and modern games just get have been getting longer and longer, but...
Yeah. Oh, by the way, what I was gonna say, I keep getting distracted every time we start talking again. I always love that there is something that the camera could feasibly be mounted on in like an action movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
In all the cutscenes, it's really, and like there's like zooms and shit too. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I do think that the cinematics are only getting better, as the
don't
games
get used to it.
progress.
Don't get used to it.
Obviously, I can't speak for anything past this entry, but
don't get used to it. You'll only
because I
be
have to say
disappointed.
the cinematics in the last couple games, they were good, but they just weren't as interesting, visually. Sure, you had your epic set pieces, like from Master Chief jumping from like 4 ships in space, just to kind of show that he can, I guess. But it kind of got old.
Yeah, they really lean into like the action movie in this, and it is kind of sad that we can't really go back to Bungie.
Well done, Noble 6. Uppercut initiated.
All right.
Corvette is underway.
So Bungie made the games, the first games.
Bungie has made every game up until this one. Or up to this one, and then after that it's been 343 because then they left Microsoft to go work on Destiny for Activision.
Well, I have to say Destiny was a huge success. So they obviously.
I don't know about huge.
I would say it was a pretty big success. Maybe it's just because I was into it. It kind of felt bigger, but
it made enough to warrant a sequel. But it was not a Halo-type success. Certainly not critically. But
well, everybody has their own preferences. I feel like a lot of things that are like real mainstream and popular just never caught on for me. Like the whole Star Wars, Harry Potter, and all that. I just never really caught on with that. And this is just one of those things that kind of just fell to the wayside,
Good of you to come. I'll start pounding the hell out of a
and I know people always say, oh man, if you'd watched it, I'm sure you'd like it, but you just, you never do.
I mean,
kind of
you
like
never watched it, though.
Well, I'm just trying to say, that's kind of what happened with Halo and all the other things,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like whenever people talk about it so highly, it gives you expectations that most of the time doesn't meet. But it's like watching until the 7th movie.
I mean, no, with Star Wars, it's good in the first film. Obviously, it's kind of like a Halo 1 thing where, like, it doesn't hold up on your first viewing unless you're kind of ready for it. Unless you're, like, ready for it to look like a 1977 movie.
You can't keep everyone's wants.
Yeah,
Okay.
when we're kind of done,
You won't.
who are you talking to?
I'm sorry, I forgot I wasn't muted. Jennifer is bothering me, but it's okay. I think that I answered her inquiry. Yeah, what were you saying?
I was saying that Star Wars is kind of like a Halo 1 thing, unless you go into it knowing that it has aged quite a bit. You probably not appreciate it as much.
I feel like it's kind of hard to appreciate the same type of things that people appreciated back in the day, right? Because whenever I play like all these Halo games, all I have to compare it to are things that I've played
more recently.
Yeah, more recently, right? Like but then people are like, well, think about what was out at the time. Right? It's a lot harder to think about what was out at the time.
Oh god.
Like,
I very nearly killed both of us. I'm glad I didn't.
Look, I was hearing about Resident Evil 4, right? How I guess that one came out on VR recently or something like that. I can't.
Wait. He just. Alright. I'm gonna keep going with this episode a little bit after this cutscene.
Distance is closing on this vessel's refueling track with a Covenant supercarrier. 76 seconds to enter point.
So, it's gonna be like that. Well, I got good news and bad news. This bird took some fire and our thruster gimbal is toast, which means the only way off this slag heap is gravity.
And the good news?
That was the good news.
At current velocity, 53 seconds to end point.
Yeah. Bad news is, time is fried. I'm gonna have to fire it manually.
That's a one-way trip.
We all make it sooner or later. Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there. Listen, Reach has been good to me. Time has come to return the favor. Don't deny me this. Tell him to make it count.
Slip space rupture detected.
Gamma station control, reading multiple pings below the orbital defense
Slip
grid.
space rupture detected.
Yeah, we're picking up anomalies too. Are you reading it? Multiple Covenant signatures.
Slip space rupture detected.
They're everywhere. Yeah, busting the whole damn Covenant
Slip
fleet.
space rupture detected.
Alright. So one tiny plot hole with this little episode before we go that does kind of piss me off. And this is like the only plot hole in the whole game that really does this to me, but it obviously canonically it's not, the game is not meant to be played on easy. Canonically, like the way the games are intended to be played and like the way it's depicted is the difficulty would be heroic, right?
The hardest one, right?
No, that's the third. That's second to hardest. Legendary is the hardest, but
okay.
Obviously the games are meant to be played on a harder difficulty than this, right? But it's still possible to have living Marines, right? So like there were 2 living Marines when we got done. And they didn't have re-entry packs because they're just in like basic spacesuits that can't survive re-entry through a planet, right? So the question is, like, why don't they make, like, a scripted thing that kills all the Marines? Or, like, make it a part of the cutscene where all the Marines die, and then, you know, George is like, well, there's only one of us left, and somebody has to fire it manually. That's kind of the only plot hole, is that usually there's Marines left over, and they wouldn't be able to survive. They do explain why they don't just go back to the Sabres, and that's because the door to that part of the ship is jammed. So they do at least explain that. But, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the only little plot hole thing. But, yeah, that's kind of it. And then I think we're going to end the stream too. So, thank you for watching. See you guys next time.